Why does wealth not matter as much above $25 million liquid? And what does this mean to you and to your health, to your new pursuits and your goals and purpose in life as a man over 40 and 50 years old? So I'm Coach Ábris, founder of Demi Cycle Protocol, and we help high achievers and corporate executives over the age of 40 and 50 sustainably get below 15% body fat, double your natural energy levels without stimulants, without sleep drugs or anything else, and to fit better in your shirt, feel better in your body, and to achieve your health goals without counting calories or training more than 2 to 3 hours per week. And how does it connect to your health? How does building wealth transforms into other endeavors for your life? This is what we are about to talk today, and it might go into a little bit philosophical depth, but it's definitely worth discovering, as many of our clients who were at that point where they have really made it in business and in the game of building wealth, they started losing their sense of purpose. And for example, among other things, our program has given them the opportunity to find a new purpose in a different domain of your life, right? So if you are, of course, actively in the wealth building phase, or you are just scaling up your business, probably this video is not for you, right? And this is also not a business channel. We are a health and wellness channel for people who pursue business or pursued business and exited at some point, just to clarify things. But if you are actively in the game of wealth building, you tend to focus solely on this aspect of your life and sacrifice your health in your younger years just to get ahead and to secure that bread. And I completely respect that, because, well, what are you supposed to do? What else you are supposed to do as a man of value in your 20s and potentially your 30s, right? You are, first of all, laying down the foundations, and then you build on top of that. This is the season of building, the founding and building phase. But then when you are at the phase of maturing and not just scaling, but like globally operating, or not even globally operating, but operating at a level where your personal wealth exceeds $25 million liquid, or even just in assets, and I will tell you why this number, why this is called the so-called fuck you money, right? So once you get to the fuck you money point, why it kinda loses its purpose, or why does building wealth lose its purpose building value or purpose giving value, right? So there comes a point in your life, even when you have kids, even if you go for like building generational wealth, there comes a point where you just stop caring. And you either attach this point to a certain number or to a certain age. Usually the two comes hand in hand, not at the same time, but let me explain. So usually men care about making as much money as possible and building as large sum of wealth possible until the age of 35 to 40. After that, most of them get tired, and not particularly physically or mentally tired. It's more like the fatigue of, I have done my part up until this point, and I will just keep maintaining that and bring the maximum out of this. Of course, there are guys who are like super motivated and start building companies in their 40s, 50s, 60s, but that's not the norm, that's not the typical. If you think that, okay, whenever someone makes a statement and you have to come with another one out, probably you also have no business watching this channel, right? Because general facts and generalization exists to set up some rules. I know that everybody knows an exception to a rule, but it doesn't change basic human behavior and the psychology and how all of this is impacted by our economic situation, right? So this is just a fact that men usually get tired after the age of 35 and 40, and that's completely fine. So if you haven't made it up until that point, it will be very, very harder. So where do I get the audacity from to talk about this as a 22-year-old guy? Well, I'm talking to my clients, right? Most of them are 40 to 50-year-old businessmen, high achievers, corporate executives who have done their fair share of wealth building for decades, basically. And they got to the point where their health started mattering more because they got tired and they knew that, okay, I have made insane amounts of money so far, my family is well off, we are set for life, but I'm probably not the next Elon Musk, so why even bother for scaling even higher or going even more crazy about money? And the other thing is that, hey, there's this thing called our heart and our lungs and our entire body, which might expire sooner if we don't care of it, if we don't take care of it. So because of this, they started working with us, with Demi Cycle Protocol, to give them those sustainable lifelong habits and systems that can help them get in the best shape of their lives and in the health and the energy levels that they want to sustain for decades to come. So it's that simple. And when that point came, usually for them it was like the entry of the mid 8 figures range. So $25 million. What is so magical about this number, right? So 25 million is something that if you invest at like a average 4%, just let's be like very conservative with numbers over here, 4% returns on average every single year. So that invested to that, let's do some math together. 1% of 25 million is $250,000. So 4% of that is $1 million. So you can get $1 million out of $25 million as your principal investment per year without touching the principal. Just think about that. Without touching your original investment, it generates $1 million for you per year. So about $80,000 per month. So even if you're balling out and you're eating at the most expensive restaurants every single night and you're spending like crazy and you cater a private jet every month for a flight, you won't even exceed $80,000. So if you look at the ultra wealthy, it's like, I've seen an interesting statistics about it, the spending habits of the ultra wealthy in America. And even their monthly household spendings, even if they were like super, really much balling out, even that didn't exceed $50,000. So if you have about 80K at your disposal every single month, and even if you're balling out, you're not spending more than 50K, and this all comes from a $25 million investment, basically you're entrenched for life. So for you, it's not about safety anymore, it's not about freedom anymore, it's not even about increasing the pleasures and hedonistic endeavors in life that you can have access to. So nothing out of these will matter anymore, unless you are driven by a purpose of scaling up your company to the billions because you have a mission to change the world and stuff like that. But even by then, at that point, you can delegate so much and probably have the knowledge to hire so well that it's not gonna take up more of your personal time and it's not gonna eat up your health. So when you have a business that basically grows on autopilot, and when you are so wealthy, you don't even know what to do with that money, right? And just making more of it becomes so easy and so risk-free for you that it stops being fun and you kind of like lose that kind of youthful drive and vitality that kept you going to make more and more and more and more money in your 20s and your 30s, and you get to the point where, okay, you're worth kind of like mid 8 figures, you are above 40 years old, right? You start looking for new challenges, otherwise you will get depressed. So one thing about men, which, well, keeps being proven true year by year, is that we get depressed when we don't have a purpose, when we don't have something to chase after, something to actively pursue. And of course, when we're young, usually it's wealth, status, women. Once you get the wealth, once you get the status, once you start building a family, other things start becoming more appealing to you. Status will always remain. But once you have the monetary, the economic status, what else can be your status symbol, right? And this is your health. This is your physique, because being a fat, rich person is not that impressive, right? Because let's say you own a trucking business, or let's say you've been an investment banker for the past 15 years, and you've been smart with your investments, whatever. You're worth multiple millions of dollars, but if you have been stressed out or too hedonistic, you kept drinking, indulging in drugs or unhealthy food or whatever, then now you are nothing but just a rich guy with a big belly, right? And there are many millionaires. Even in the US there are many decamillionaires. I think it's 2 or 3 million households have over $10 million in the US. I might be wrong, but this is the statistics I have seen most recently. So let's look at the obesity rates in America, 40%. So let's say 40% of those 3 million people who own about $10 million in assets, 40% of them are fat, right? So that would mean is that almost 1.2 million of these people, 1.2 million decamillionaires, are out of shape, overweight, and not proud of themselves when they look at the mirror. And you might be one of these people. And is there anything wrong with that? No, it's just you are without a purpose after a certain amount of wealth, and you want to pursue something more, something new, something that equalizes you with other people. Because if you have an unfair advantage, it's super fun for a while. And after that, it just stops being fun, because what we love about status, what us men love about status, is not the status itself and the position that it puts us in, but the struggle and the way that gets us there, and the ability to tell it about ourselves that we have fought for it, that we have worked hard for it. So it's the sense of achievement that really excites us, not just the status itself. And if you need a new field, and probably you do, because you're a man and you always need a new field to compete in, because we are by nature competitive. And if you need a new endeavor to excel at, it's probably going to be your health. Lots of 40, 50, 60-year-old dudes are just scrolling on social media, looking at these fitness channels and whatever, and trying to look for tips to how to lose belly fat, how to get in a great shape, how to get slightly wider shoulders, bigger arms, and how to look better in shirts, how to look better shirtless, how to not run out of breath when playing with your kids and grandkids. So all of these things start being interested in you, first of all, when you start being conscious about your health and you want to preserve your wealth and your knowledge and everything that you can give to your family for as long as possible, and when the status games with money are basically over for you and you want to play your status games with your body, with your health, with your physique, and with your physical excellence. So usually when men have achieved their fair level of monetary, economic excellence, and you have proven yourself that you are able to accumulate resources. So basically, you are eligible for survival. You have not been selected out by nature. You have not been filtered. You are in the top guys of the tribe, right? If we put this into a tribalist perspective. And after that, when you have established yourself economically, socially, then the next thing will be your health. Next thing will be your physique and physically establishing yourself as a man of status. And this is why it's exciting for men over 40 and 50, especially the ones who have been successful financially, is that, okay, you can't just buy it, right? This is something that excites you because you can buy so many things that it gets boring, right? But you can't buy a great physique. You can't inherit it. You can't win that on the lottery. You can't just say it's luck. Nothing is accidental about your health and your physique. Nothing. So it's everything you're working hard for. Everything you are achieving it by yourself, and it's yours and no one can take this away from you. You don't need to copyright it because, well, it's yours, it's visible, it's on you, it's you. And all your inner values and your intellect and everything that's untouchable but valuable inside of you can be reflected if you use and translate the same amount of discipline that you have had in your business, in your family, and your faith. If you just translate this discipline into your health, into your physique, into being consistent with your routine, amazing results can be achieved at any age. And if you doubt it, like what kind of results can be achieved, well, let me show you something which I'm really proud of. I mean, I'm proud of all of our clients, but there's this dude, let me pull up his picture, 46 years old, manages a portfolio of real estate, has a demanding job, and also trades on the side, and he got very good at making money, right? He takes care of his family, he has 2 kids, but still has time to immensely transform his physique. So let me show you, it's gonna take me a while to pull it up. So just a second. Here we go. And yes, here. So this dude over here, hopefully he's visible, his transformation is visible. Devin, at the age of 46, went from 23% body fat to below 9% body fat in less than 6 months, not counting a single calorie, training 2 to 3 hours per week on our systems. And that's it, because this is where he found his new purpose, that he still gets it. He can still be in an amazing shape. And, just because you're getting old, that doesn't mean you should rapidly deteriorate. You still get that power in you, you still got that fire in you, and it's all gonna be yours. So it's not something that can be lost in a bear market or whatever, right? Nothing is the byproduct of luck when it comes to building your health and your physique. Nothing. So if you're a man in your 40s or 50s, and if you're a high achiever, an entrepreneur or corporate executive, and you got to the point where, well, you're basically making money on autopilot and just accumulating more and more wealth is not fun to you anymore. You're looking for a new goal, a new purpose, a new challenge in your life, and you have put your health on the back burner in the past couple of years or decades, then this is your time to head over to the description, book a free call with us, and we will, based on the questions that you fill out, already craft up a game plan and a roadmap for you by the time we get on a call on how it would look like for you to get sustainably below 15% body fat, stay lean and energetic for life, double your natural energy levels, get to sustainably above 85 sleep scores measured by the Oura Ring that we are providing for you and sending to your address. All this without counting a single calorie or without ever restricting your diet or having to train more than 2 to 3 hours per week unless you enjoy it so much that you want to do more. So if you are this type of man and you're ready for making a change, you're ready for a challenge, you're not procrastinating, you're not making excuses, or at least you don't want to make excuses anymore, you have a strong determination and mindset that yes, I want to do this, but I want to do it the fun and sustainable way. I don't want it to be a hassle, because you have had your fair share of hard work in your life, so you don't have to be neurotic about your health, but you want a fun and sustainable way, then book a free call with us and we're going to set everything up for you and see if we're a good fit to work together. However, if you don't have the mindset of you want to get started right now and you are still doubting yourself whether you can make it happen or not, then let's not waste each other's time. Don't book a free call with us, but watch my previous video, especially the one called Be More Delusional, because that's where I train your mind up to catch up to the same level of success that we will achieve together for your body. Because if you have your brain in shape first, it's going to be much easier to transform. But first, you need the mindset, and you need to understand that, okay, if you want a new pursuit, a new challenge, and you want to fix your health for once and for all, then the sooner you start, the better it will be and the easier it will go for you. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and if you did enjoy it, please press that like and subscribe button, and see you in the next one.